Hey guys, what is up? And today I am talking to you about a new theory, one that I personally think is 100% true. This theory is very simple. Will Vados be the next villain? Now I have reason to believe this for a multitude of reasons. And I'm going to start off with why she seems evil. There was that point where we all remember the huge reveal that Frost was not a good guy and was in fact evil, just like Frieza was. It was huge. Everyone remembers it. But Vados already knew he was evil and that he would cheat. She was aware that she would break the rules, and yet she did it anyway. She was aware that this was a horrible person, but she put him on the team anyways. And even Champa seemed mad at this. And here's the thing about Champa: some people think he's gonna be the next villain, but he doesn't really give off a villain vibe. He seems more childish. He doesn't really seem evil at all. But Vados, she seems evil too. Not to mention, she got hit on the team, and she said that she'd give him the cube, which would allow him to travel through dimensions, and she was perfectly okay when Hit was viciously attacking Frost. She just seems very evil. Not to mention, the setup for this would just be absolutely perfect. Vados says that she's stronger than Whis, so we would have a villain stronger than Whis that Goku and Vegeta would have to defeat. Wouldn't that be amazing? Somebody stronger than Whis. Also, in an interview, Akira Toriyama, he said that he did not want to give the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan transformation white. He was originally planning on giving it white hair, but he did not give it white hair because it would clash with the next villain. And who has white hair? Vados has white hair. So there's that. Also, there was this one scene where Champa was talking about doing something nice, Frost, before we found out Frost was evil, Frost was talking about how he wanted Champa's help to go and fight the evil guys and defend the universe. And he said, and if he doesn't win the tournament, that Champa wouldn't help him. And Champa, when Champa found out that Vados had told Frost that he would help him, then Champa was like, oh, but if he doesn't win, I can help him anyways, kind of. He was like, oh, wait, but if he does, he seemed all sad and said, wait, so I'm not going to help him if he doesn't win. He wanted to help him fight off the evil. Then Vados said that a god of destruction shouldn't be thinking of such things. Another thing about Vados being evil, she doesn't want to fight the evil. When Champa wanted to fight evil, she was like, no, don't. So that just seems very sinister. Also, it'd come as a pretty big plot twist, a sister of Whis. It's Whis' sister, which would also add more conflict. And Whis' sister being the next villain. The whole thing, it just seems like a huge setup to the whole thing. Not to mention, why would they really... And it's you could say that all these things are just coincidence, but why would they set up all of these things? And it just seems like too many things are lining up for her to be the next villain, for her to not be the next villain. Not to mention, heard this thing where it's Vados would be the first female villain in Dragon Ball Z. And if you're looking at big villains, that's true. To be fair, Fortune Teller Bobbity wasn't really a villain, but she was an obstacle. I would describe her as an obstacle in the original Dragon Ball, but yeah, I don't think she counts as a villain at all. But to be fair, most of the villains were kind of genderless. At first, Red Ribbon Army, most of it was men, except for Mai, who was... Oh, Mai from Emperor Pilaf. She was a villain. She was a girl. The main villain was Pilaf, but still, she was a villain. And also in movies, we've seen female villains. So yeah, I wouldn't really call her the first female villain, but the first main female villain. But really not that many of the villains have been male. A lot of them have not really had a gender. Frieza did not have a gender, and I know this because he was naked the entire time and you didn't, see it. Cell didn't have a gender either. He was naked the entire time. Both King Piccolo and Piccolo are Namekians, so they're genderless. Majin Buu doesn't have a gender either. At least I'm assuming he doesn't. There hasn't been any sign that he does. So, I mean, the only sign was that there's a female Majin option in Xenoverse, but that's a video game, so it doesn't really matter. So, I mean, yeah. Oh, Baby from the Baby, I mean, it's GT, but Baby from GT, he didn't have a gender. Neither did Omega Shenron. They didn't have gender. So, I mean, I would just say that her being the first female villain, I would say that she wouldn't be the first female villain, nor would it really matter that much. But it just seems like a perfect setup to me, but this is just my personal theory. I know some people agree with me. I've heard a lot of things that people don't agree with me on. Yeah, and I'm just saying about the white hair. I forget which YouTuber said this. It was one of like a much bigger one than me. May have been like Quaman's Land or Rhyme Style or Geekdom 101. I forget who. Maybe Expert Games. I don't know. But some big Dragon Ball YouTuber. And they were like, well, just because it doesn't necessarily mean when Akira Toriyama mentioned white, it doesn't necessarily mean white hair. Which, I mean, is correct. I mean, he just said he didn't want it to clash with the new villain, which, of course, could mean that a new villain has something else, like a very big white characteristic about them. But I think that the hair, I think it's probably going to be white hair if he wanted to change something as big as the color of the hair of the next transformation, then I feel like it would be over something more specific about, like, the next villain, like the hair. So, of course, there's always that. And, you know, Vados has white hair. I think it's just the perfect setup, which I've already said like 3 times. Whatever. Anyways, it's my own personal theory. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. This is Chunks McNugget signing off. Peace.